How's it going, guys? So today I'm going to show you how I'm going to wire my lights. I bought the LED pod lights on Amazon. They got them on sale for like 12 bucks. So I was like, man, I'm gonna pick me up a pair and install them on my Kayak. So the way I want to do it is I'm going to put it on my track system, and you'll see how I'm going to do it here shortly. But first I'm going to pull off this little grommet plastic thingy, whatever it's called, from my Kayak, so I can wire the cables through. And I do apologize about the messy Kayak. So I bought this wire thing with the wire feeder on Amazon. It's these little like these things right here. You screw them together, you know, the length that you need, and you just slide it in your Kayak, and it comes with different attachments like a hook, a little cable tie, and a bunch of little other things. I wasn't sure if this was gonna work, but it worked awesome. It's the best $10 I've ever spent. Run the wires through my Kayak would take forever, but with this thing it's so quick. You add as many pieces as you need. I think I added like 4 or 5 pieces. So this is the attachment that I use. It's a little wire thing. You run the wire through that loop, and then you pull that red tie forward, and it pinches the wire so it doesn't come loose, and then you just run it through. I'm gonna run it through my Kayak, and you'll see how easy and how fast this is. See, boom, I'm already there. I already have it. It's pretty simple. You just bend it over and pull that tie tight, and it'll pinch it shut. Hold that wire in place while you run it. Okay, so now we're pulling that wire back through. As you can see, it took me like maybe 15 seconds to run that wire through my Kayak. See, here I'm just putting a little piece of black tape because this is gonna be my negative cable. Here I'm just running that second cable, my positive. So now we're pulling that wire through. One tip that I would recommend is make sure that you tape your cables to your Kayak. That way they don't accidentally fall back in the Kayak, because it's always a pain in the ass having to come back and rewire run your wires again. And I am going to be mounting this to the track, so I'm going to be using the track nut and screws to mount the base plate of the light to the track. Alright, so now we got the base mounted onto the track. We're going to install the light, or screw or bolt the light to the base, I guess, should I say. Now I am going to keep it loose because I'm not going to tighten it down until I see it at night and adjust the lighting, you know, up and down or whatever. So I'm not pointing in awkward directions, so I left it loose for now. Alright guys, so this is pretty simple stuff here. I'm sure you guys know this, you know, positive to positive, negative to negative. Pretty simple stuff. So I'm just gonna wire the lights to the wires that I ran through the Kayak, and I'm gonna heat shrink them. Now don't make the mistake that I made, and I heat shrunk these cables. You might be able to catch it in the video, but I heat shrunk them, but I forgot to run them through the plastic grommet thingy, whatever. And so I had to cut the heat shrink and rewire all that to fit correctly. So just make sure you are paying attention throughout the process, so you don't have to backstep like I did like a million times. Alright, so this is the part I was talking about. See the cable? I'm over here like a dumbass heat shrinking it, and it's not even ran through that plastic thing down there. So all this stuff right here I'm doing right now is for nothing, because I got to cut it out anyways later. By this time I already fixed the mess that I did. So I'm just screwing on that plate down, and I love this look. I mean, it looks so nice. The wires running through the grommet. I don't know what that plastic thing is called, but I'm gonna call it a grommet. The way everything is ran, the wires, it's a very clean look. I mean, I really love the way the lights sit on the track, because that's one of the things that I wanted. Was I did not want to drill holes in my Kayak because it's so expensive. I don't want to put holes in it. So even though I even have a waterproof switch that I installed, no drilling holes, no nothing. You'll see how I did it in a minute. Now this might not be the way you like to do it or the way you prefer, and of course I would love to have the panel with the light switches and you know, make it look real nice, but the reality is I don't want to cut a big square hole in my Kayak, and I'm not going to. So this is the best alternative for me, and it might work for you. So now we're wiring the other side. I figure I wouldn't bore you with all the process. It's the same thing as the other side. I did run out of wire. I only had blue wire. I couldn't find the red wire, so that's why I was taping the tips black so I know which ones was the negative. This is the connector that I'm going to be using to wire the lights to the battery. I'm using these connectors, which it also connects to the on and off switch. Alright, so now that I got more wire, I went ahead and finished wiring the other side, got the light installed, everything is good to go. So all the hard things are done. I mounted the lights. I did that one already. You saw that on video. I did this one. So I ran out of wire, so I had to rewire it another day, but it's already wired in. This is the same process as that one over there. I ran the cables through here, and if you don't have a Kayak, if you don't have one of these on your Kayak, you can always use a grommet, or I'm sure they sell this piece too. I didn't want to have wires or drilling holes through my Kayak, so what I did was I just have a quick connect and disconnect right here for the lights, and then I just leave this cable hanging out. The same thing with this is a switch to turn it on, and I just give me enough cable space or cable so I can close the lid, so it'll be like this. And then I can lock it, and there you go. And I'm about to turn the lights on. Here's a walk around of my Kayak. The lights that I just installed has a two-way scupper plugs. Got my rod holders, my fish grips, my gloves. I have a knife over there, my fish finder. I got some yo-yos here attached to my seat, because sometimes I do trot lining or yo-yos, and that's just pretty easy access, and they're come in handy. They just pretty much stay there. Got my live well here, my net. This is a second seat I have. Oh, I forgot to mention, this right here is a Kayak pad or a yak pad. I don't really notice any difference. I bought this seat used off Facebook for like 40 bucks, and this came with it, so I just took it off and put it on my seat. Here's my cast net. I have it under this seat right here. Got my fishing backpack there. And this seat does raise up so I can get my rudder out. Got my paddle. Then I got this, it stores 3 rods, but I just use it for 2 rods. I normally just carry 2 rods, and my anchor pole, which is right here. Got the puck, the Minn Kota puck, my cutting board here. So yeah, pretty simple setup. And I'm using those as nav lights, navigation lights. But yeah, so far that's my rig right there. Alrighty guys, so I hope you liked this video and you learned something and you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, make sure you like and subscribe, comment, and catch you on the next one.